Okay, so if we added 5 flats, you'd have a diminished scale. 2 flats is Dorian. 3 flats is Aeolian. 3 flats, 4 flats is Phrygian. And 5 flats would be diminished. So it's good to keep that in mind. I haven't even made the chart yet, but I'm going to do a system of minor cages. So from the get-go, we're not going to have cages. We're not going to have minor, like C minor and G minor shaped chords that are going to pull us below the fret nut. We're going to start with, and that's what the C cage is. The C cage is, Mr. Capo, the C cage is the cage with the long chord. This is it by definition. And the G. Now that G, even in the majors, when you play a major chord, it could be the 1, the 4, or the 5. Okay? So then you have, with the 5, you have the flatted 4th. Alright, with the 4th, you have the augmented 4th of the pure 4th. So, again, it's easier to do the chords, just the triads, initially when working with new cages. So that was a healthy digression there. So here it is, regular guitar, regular 6-string guitar, because I know I've gotten involved with cello fiddle, 5-string, P5 tuning, and all that stuff. And we can do that. We can do mirror image for the, for the diminished chords. But first we have to become familiar with those diminished chords. So this is the everything map up here, right? Depending on where you put this fret nut is the key that you're in. So if I just arbitrarily, I'm just saying arbitrarily, trying to do something different here. If we arbitrarily put the fret nut there, or you bar that with your finger, and you call this 6 flat, then the lowest playable note is 6 flat there, right? Would that be the key of 6 flat? In the E shape, yes, because the E shape has the root right there, although the 7th is below it. So the E is kind of like a bad example or an easy example, depending on how you put it like that. So the actual key at that point, so it would be like this. Coming up to the 6th flat here. Okay. Are we on the same sheet of music now? Remember, this red note is 5 or G. This light blue note is A. This is A flat. Here's 6 flat up there. If we, from there, if we just play a C shape, the root of that C shape is right here is an E. So that would be what? That would be in C shape. It would be an E there. Okay, that isn't exactly an A flat there, is it? And the 5th of that E is the B right here. So we can see, if we look at that as the C box, then it becomes the key of E, the 3rd, the lowest note, that A flat, or that G sharp, now we're going to call it a G sharp, is the 3rd. So that's not the key. It's only the key if we play what? If we go like this. But if we want that to be the 3rd, we're in the key of E. Same note, that note didn't change. So we better move along, or we're never going to get to diminished and get through with the subject matter, so we can get on to the new stuff, which is a minor cage chord system. We'll talk about that next time. So let's finish this up before the wife gets home. Again, we have down C tuned here. Here's your normal guitar tuning. Anywhere you put the fret can make it, can change the system, okay? And you can also change the numbers, right? So you could, this is normal guitar tuned, but if we got rid of this, we got rid of this labeling up here, right? Then we could call this anything. You could, that would be putting the capo anywhere, right? So that's the name of that tune. Well, let's look at diminished. What does this chart offer? This is an older chart. We got some stuff brought over from the other chart, which is the long and the short patterns. Here's the long patterns playing away from the fret knot. Here's the short patterns. In each one of these we have these little cue cards here. These are your string shapes here, okay? Pentatonic, we're not going to play the 7th or the 4th there, so there's dashes there. But that's just a characteristic of the diagram I brought up from previous. Long pattern stack, 7 root 2 3 4 5 6 7 root 2 3 4. Again, this is all talking around the problem. This is all beside the point. Let's look at this is an interesting little diagram I brought up. Remember the subject of the title of this chart. I don't know if I did talk about the title of this chart. Is patterns in chord shapes. Okay, the root shape down here, I call it root shape. Okay, and these are the string numbers. So you can see here, the question is, are we in the P4 tuning zone? We are here. So these are all second string action here. Root shape for diminished, 7-2-4. Look at how long it is. It travels along, so you can really only just do that in an arpeggio fashion. Okay, now if that's the 7th, this is the 6th, this is the 5th. Where are we? We're in an S3AXL. Why do we call an A? Because this is the 5-6 is your A string shape. The bottom of your A cage. So it's 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is that? That is a Mixolydian scale. But if we cut across diagonally there, so that's the root shape. Okay? Now, what happens is the first inversion shape, this is also from string number 2. Now we're calling this string number 2. I don't know why I'm calling that string number 2. The first inversion shape would be, starting from D, it would be so we have a whole, a minor third rather, and then we go up to what? It's not a fourth, it's an augmented fourth. Right here we have an augmented fourth, so a minor third to an augmented fourth. That's a first inversion, but these are pattern shapes. They only hold for the bottom 4 strings. I consider the bottom 4 strings E, A, D, and G, bottom, in my system. Second inversion shape, 4, 7, 2. Okay, remember the root is 7, 2, 4, 4, 7, 2. We're going to have an augmented fourth going to a minor third. Start from 4, 4, 7, 2. So remember we talked about that method where we could do it with inversions, with intervals. But now we're looking at pattern shapes, chord pattern shapes. Now, this is kind of an outdated method because as soon as this goes up into the G and the B string, these are going to change shape.